Welcome back to your sixth sense, your superpower. Now, we're getting into a rhythm now. I hope that you're beginning to experience life from the third space, just a little bit more aware, more present, more paying attention. So let's just start by paying attention to what's around you. Look around, look at me, notice what's different. That's a very important skill. Those people who are really intuitive, of course, that will be you, is paying attention, noticing everything, even the subtle. And when you notice what's different, what's right in front of you, you get out of your head and you bring yourself fully into your body, which is your full receiver for intuition, and you begin to be available for bringing in more awareness. So today we're going to work on expanding that availability. We're going to work on expanding your perception and beginning to notice how intuition speaks to you. It speaks to you energetically, but it also loves to speak to you with signs, symbols, metaphors, surprising ways to get your attention, snap you out of your automatic recording brain, be present, take in what's happening right now, and make decisions that really support that. So I taught you about the cube of space, and I want to revisit that very quickly. We're going to do this often. So remember, you look around, you notice 3 new things. So just name that really quickly. So what we do is we breathe in, exhale, pulling your belly to your spine with your tongue on the roof of the mouth. Breathe in again, slowly, slowly. Go down the slide. Smile. And what I want you to notice is that opens the curtains of your heart. You can actually feel your energy opening. Intuition is open, receptive energy. And you don't have to be afraid because you have your creative container. You have your protective energetic field around you so you can be open. You feel that the protective energy around your gut, your belly, what we call your solar plexus, that opens. And that allows you to be able to be available, to perceive, to recognize energy, to receive it, to feel it. Now, once we're in this space, we now begin to interact with the world differently. I taught you about dancing in the fire. I taught you about being present. And now I want to teach you how to read the signs and then follow the signs. So as I said before, intuition speaks in signs, symbols, metaphors, and sometimes jokes. So I want to give you a story about one that I just love. I had a student who had been working with me for a while, and she is a flight attendant. She has to go to work, and it's a 45-minute drive, and she usually takes a very early morning flight. That's her schedule. So she was up at 3:30 in the morning getting ready to go for work. She packs her suitcase, puts it in the car. She's on her way to the airport, and she kind of senses this inner voice that says to her very simply, "It's a good day for donuts." That pops in her head, and she kind of answers out loud because she'd been working with these tools. And she said, "Actually, it is a good day for donuts. When I get to the airport, I'll get a donut." So she's driving a few more blocks, and she hears again with a little more enthusiasm, a little more energy, "Isn't it a good day for donuts?" And she laughs and she says, "It is a good day for donuts. Every day is a good day for donuts. I'll get a donut when I get it to the airport." So she's having this conversation with her inner spirit, her intuition, her expanded self. She drives a few more blocks and she's just about to turn to get on the highway to go to the airport when she hears one more time, "It's a good day for donuts." And she looks up and she sees a donut truck coming into the gas station to leave the early morning donuts for the customers that will come. It's only about 4:45 at this point. So she looks at the truck, she feels this again, and she says, "Okay, fine, I'm going to get a donut. And if I'm late for work, you're going to have to help me deal with it. So she's talking to her higher self. So she pulls in behind the donut truck and she goes to shut off the ignition. And when she looks at the ignition, she realizes she is completely out of gas in her car. And had she got onto the highway, she would have run out of gas before she got to the airport. And her inner voice said, see, it's a good day for donuts. And that's how intuition works. It plays with you. It gets your attention. It doesn't always just be in your face. It might be a vibe. It might be a joke. It might be a hit. It might be just sort of a thought that breezes by that's very different and unexpected. And it's giving you information in a way that's getting your attention. How do you get those messages and how do you not miss them? Is you have to slow down. You have to create a little more quiet. She heard that. She experienced that kind of inner intuition guiding her because she was in the car by herself. No radio, no distraction. She just had the space and the awareness and the quiet. So think about your own life. Do you ever create moments of quiet? Do you ever create moments where you're not being intruded upon by the noise, the voices, the input of other people? Now, of course, we talk about meditation, and it is an important part of the course. And I said that at the beginning, but we're going to emphasize that in addition to meditation, which we're going to take our morning and evening time for, we're going to create little moments of quiet and space wherever you can, just to check in, just to receive and experience and hear what might be trying to be coming through, to notice the signs, to feel the energy and be able to respond in the moment. Just like I did when I was standing at the airport waiting to get on the flight. I was quiet. I was standing there looking around, but my quiet picked up the frequency. The container is the breathe and smile. Those are things that kind of, open up the field. So do that 2, 3, 4 times a day, and always do that when you're trying to tune in to what's happening, what I need to know, what would be helpful, what would guide me in this moment. I have another client who has a business. He owns many, many restaurants across America. And he has biggest trouble, and it's a big challenge for a lot of people right now to get good help, especially since it's post-pandemic and it's a new world and everybody's mixed it up a bit. So he was really on a search for new help. Well, a woman came and interviewed with the company that he just loved. And he thought, well, she's going to love us too. But to his surprise, after her interview, she called and just said to them, I don't want the job. He was shocked. It was like, we're a great company. We have a great business. She's perfect for the job. And she didn't leave a reason. So he said, I used your tool, Sonia. I got really quiet and I just went inward. And I checked, what do I need to know? All of a sudden started hearing the Deborah Harry song, Call Me. And he laughed. He's like, what do you mean, call me? But it kept being in his head. He was thinking he'd get a yes, you hire her back or talk to her. But all he heard was call me, this song. And he started laughing. So he said, I'm going to call her. I'm going to call her myself. I'm not going to let HR, I'm not going to let the people who interviewed her call. I'm going to call her myself. So he called her and he said, I just need to know, you turned the job down. I'm calling because why? And she said, well, actually, I had every intention of taking the job. But when I called to discuss the details, the person that I was talking to irritated me so much that I just, in that moment, because we weren't communicating well, I just said, I don't want it and hung up, and I regretted it. So I can't believe you're calling me. Well, they worked it out. He hired her, and she ended up turning the whole company around and helping rebrand it, and it kind of pulled them out of the rut they had been in. And he said, Sonia, I was expecting something else. I don't know what I was expecting, because you expect information to come through your intellect and be very direct. I didn't expect a song from Debbie Harry, but there it was. So I want you to start noticing the different ways your intuition pops into your head. Do you ever get a hit, a hunch, a sense, a sign? Do you ever see a bus drive by and it has a message on it? Or I was driving one time to do a workshop myself. I came to the stop sign. I looked in front of me and I saw this license plate in the car in front of me, and it just said SLWD. That's all, SLWD. But in my mind, slow down. I just, boom, got it, slow down. And I was speeding. I was late. I speed anyway all the time. So I'm cruising around the corner, see that, slow down. And just as I came around the corner, sure enough, there was the cop on the side of the road with the laser gun tracking the speed of the car. And I just cruised right by. Now, I might have been stopped, and then it would have been even later. But I noticed the sign, slow down. And I had a moment to make the decision. Now, this is another piece of this particular lesson. When you get the sign, it's not enough. You have to take it in as important information. So here's two parts to what I want you to do today. When did you get signs that you didn't pay attention to? When did you get a message? And how did it present itself? Did you ever get something in your head, kind of a song or a feeling or a buzz or a funny statement? Or did you see something? Or did you overhear something that just kind of triggered an idea or a thought for you that you need to take an action? And did you? That's the really important thing. What did you do with that? We get so tunnel vision on our lives, we get so narrowed down to being very linear that we miss the full spectrum of guidance and opportunity that's trying to influence us. So take a breath, clear the space. Breathe in, down the slide. Open up, listen. Be quiet. Create the opportunity to receive guidance. We've been open. We're expecting. Now we're drawing it in. So in the next period of time, I want you to just write down and notice all the signs. Go to our group and share the signs that you picked up, because noticing signs is like noticing stars. When's the last time you looked in the sky and noticed a star? But if you look, there's one, and then there's another, and then there's another, and before you know it, bam, the whole Milky Way is right there. Now, it was always there. What's different is you're noticing. So if you share it with one another on our little community, you're going to help each other start triggering more and more awareness, and it starts an exponential kind of unraveling, and pretty soon everybody's noticing everything. And it was there all along. That's the fun part. So you do that today, notice your signs, and I'll see you tomorrow.